for Cristiano. Means that we know that Cristiano is going to be in the center of the attentions because he's the biggest player ever, maybe the second one, the third one. It depends the opinion. Means that there's one Cristiano world, and there's the World Cup, and like Messi, for example. And in the end, everything goes around Cristiano. Means that national team players, the other ones, they are used with this situation all the time, all the World Cups, Euros, and so on. Means that we know that for any reason Cristiano will create, or the people around Cristiano will create something to put, I think this is historical, to put the best player ever, free agent in December. That this is, I never heard before. It's the first time in history that this happened. Means that it's going to be a very hot market in January for sure.
Artur, thank you very much for joining us. I'm sure we will explore that market in January with you at a further point. But yeah. Artur Fernandes, President of the Portuguese Agents Association, there's so much more I could talk to you about. Thank you very much for joining us, and we will talk soon. I just want to go back to the stadium because myself and Pat talked about him, Vicky Sparks, and the great man is there at the moment.
Yeah.
Great, Nick.
And do you know what, Mark? For a second, I thought you meant Gianni Infantino because he's here as well. I was thinking, hang on a minute, but yes, he's been out on the pitch as well, and brilliant.
The reward of them this, I don't know what it is. I can't tell what it is. But he's went over to the Cameroon fans to show them this kind of. It's almost like a poster he's got that's been framed. Yeah. And I think it's just in recognition of historically what he did at this tournament. He's gone over to the Cameroon fans. Now, to be fair, there's not a huge amount of them. They seem to be dotted around the place. But boy, they're colourful. You don't mix them. They're a brilliant looking bunch. I think they're going to dance the whole way through this.
Yeah, at the moment, looking at the pictures on the screen, it's not that well attended. But mate, it's the first game of the day, Switzerland against Cameroon. You're not expecting a massive crowd. I mean, you've got to be honest.
I think, and also we've highlighted this over this tournament. But you look at other tournaments. There's been stadiums that haven't been full at other tournaments again. Euro '96. There were stadiums that weren't full in our own country. Exactly. So let's not be surprised. They are.
E tutte queste specie di cui stiamo parlando, fra l'altro, permettimi di ricordare una cosa interessante e anche in una certa qual misura inquietante. Quando si parla, ad esempio, del perché va eliminato l'ailanto, si utilizzano esattamente, ma proprio testuali, le stesse motivazioni che si utilizzano contro gli stranieri. E cosa si dice dell'ailanto? Prende il posto delle nostre piante. Ecco, puzza. Una volta che ne è arrivato uno, arrivano tutti. Beh, provate a guardare, ve lo ripeto, su internet.
Never this season. Maybe question marks over, like Shaqiri, we talk about him, we know he's got quality, but is he able to do it regularly at his age where he's playing just now and be that creative? We shall see. I think they should be good enough to get out of the group. I really do think they're good enough to do that, but we'll only know after today.
Final one, Rob, before the teams come out. Pat talked about, looking at the here and now rather than the past. Switzerland qualified ahead of Italy. They've been at the last 5, well, including this one, they've been at the last 5 World Cups. I mean, that's a track record both in the past and in the present.
Yep, and you look at them as a group, and Pat touched on it there, and they talked about it themselves. Granit Xhaka talked about it. You draw them, and you go, oh, yeah. You just don't want to have to play against them. It's going to be interesting because they're a well-organised unit. It's going to be tough for Cameroon.
We've had plenty of drama in the early games, plenty of stories. We've had the odd shock, and remember, you can take the World Cup wherever you go via BBC Sounds. Just download it on your mobile, and then wherever you are, you will be able to listen to our coverage throughout the day. Once again, 4 games, all here on 5 Live today. Brazil, Serbia will be the last one. Before that, we've got Portugal, Ghana. To come a little bit later, 1 o'clock UK time, we have Uruguay against South Korea. But we start with Cameroon against Switzerland. And there for us this morning, Pat Nevin and Vicky Sparks.
La voce ailanto e cercate, vedrete che troverete queste giustificazioni, alcuni che hanno una storia molto lunga, la carpa ad esempio, che oggi è un pesce che si trova dappertutto nei corsi di acqua dolce, è in realtà un pesce che è stato introdotto dai romani. La nutria è un roditore del Sud America.
Always a powerful side. That's going to stand them in very good stead, because really that's one of the strengths of Switzerland as well.
Intermarché, tous unis contre la vie chère. Jusqu'au 27 novembre.
Cameroon, he makes his World Cup debut. Cameroon also boosted by the news that key midfielder Frank Ongisa wants a Fulham, but now having a fantastic season with Napoli, is fit and starts, as does the wonderfully informed Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting. He has been absolutely outstanding for Bayern Munich this season. The former Stoke man, 11 goals in his last 10 games for club and country. For Switzerland, they have one of their big players back from injury as well. Jan Sommer, who enjoyed such a fantastic European champion. For Switzerland against Cameroon this afternoon, Pat.
Yeah, actually really looking forward to this one as well. I think I got a buzz just when we saw the indomitable lines coming out off of the coach, dancing, singing, looking hell of a cool, it has to be said. Do you know what is it about the Cameroon? I'm slightly biased, right? I've always liked Cameroon as a team, as you know, I've told you this before. But you go and look at the manager, Rigobert Song. He's a cool dude, isn't he? He just looks like a seriously cool dude, and a very intelligent, likeable man as well. And then, you know, Miller walks out beforehand, and he just looks ultra cool as well. So they're a team you can almost want to love and like, but that doesn't mean anything. Still doesn't win your football games. Let's see if they're likeable after this.
Yeah, Roger Miller, the oldest World Cup goal scorer in history, receiving that award from the FIFA president, Gianni Infantino, before this match. So the players just grouping in their huddles. Switzerland all in red, Cameroon in the green and gold. The green shirts and shorts with the golden socks. And in terms of key battles where this match will be won and lost, you can't help but have your eyes drawn to both goalkeepers. We've mentioned Jan Sommer as he was a fitness out for Switzerland, but Andre Onana, absolutely outstanding for Cameroon. Such a big player for them. He's worked his way back into the side at Inter Milan this season as well. Currently #1, former Ajax player as well, was with Barcelona as a youngster, and these are two goalkeepers of the very highest quality, and again that could be decisive in this game.
Yeah, just be careful of that though. Actually, very noticeable. Sun straight in Sommer's eyes at the moment. I've not seen that before. We need to watch out for that.
So we are underway in this opening match between Switzerland and Cameroon. Switzerland, it is in possession, playing from left to right as Cameroon clear the ball away from their own penalty area. The man in the middle, incidentally, who's got us underway for Teil of Argentina. He is the one who sent off 10 players in Argentina's Champions Trophy final between Boca Juniors and Racing Club earlier this month. I don't think he'll have as busy afternoon as, I mean, if he does, again, it's another story for the ages.
I watched it. I went back and watched it to see what had actually happened. A lot of them happened afterwards and things like that. And to be honest, the players were easily as much to blame, in fact, more to blame than the referee that time.
Well, he'll be hoping for a much quieter afternoon as Switzerland have started brightly. They've won a corner down on this near side, and it will be Xherdan Shaqiri, the former Liverpool man, who comes over to take the red shirts dotted around the edge of the 6-yard box in the Cameroon penalty area, and Switzerland with this early set piece, and it's flicked on inside the box, cleared away by Cameroon at the second time of asking, just up to the halfway line. But Switzerland's already starting brightly. Switzerland, who have reached the knockout stages at their last 4 major tournaments, reached the last 16 at 3 of the last 4 World Cups, and Onana having to be very quickly off his line there to clear away from the on-rushing Real Bolo for Switzerland, who pick it up in the centre circle with Jibril So.
Very noticeable that Cameroon said they're very keen to go long quickly. You know, get the ball to Choupo-Moting up there, trying to get players around him early on. And Bomo, he's trying to get near him. It's not actually quite happened yet, but it's early on in the game, and you can see it's actually one style I've not seen in this World Cup yet. You know, a long, not all long ball, but going direct.
So Cameroon pick up position, play the ball back to Onana, who spreads it out to the right-hand side, and the Brentford man, Brian Mbeumo, making his World Cup debut after switching allegiance from France in August. Switzerland pick up possession just inside their own half. It will Samuel Eto'o, the Cameroonian legend, who's currently the president of the Cameroon FA, who flew to London personally to convince Mbeumo to switch allegiance to the country where his father was born. They also, Mbeumo says, talked about striking. He just wanted to get some advice from one of the legends of the game.
You would.
Exactly. Why not take the opportunity? Switzerland in possession. We'll run you through the lineups in a moment, but it's been a confident, a compact start from the Swiss. 3 minutes gone on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. They win a throw over on the far side. So Switzerland with Sommer in goal. The back four of Widmer, Akanji, Elvedi and Rodriguez. Ahead of them it's Freuler and Xhaka, the captain, with Shaqiri, So and Vargas supporting Mbolo up front. And it's Mbolo who plays it out to this right-hand side, and Shaqiri plays the ball in. It's well charged down by Noho for Cameroon, and Switzerland have it back in the centre. So Onana in goal for Cameroon. The back four of 5, Castelletta, Nkulu and Noho. Ahead of them, it's Ongla, Ungwet and Ongisa, with Mbeumo, Toko Ekambi, who scored that last gasp extra time winner in the playoff against Algeria to take them through on away goals, supporting Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting, the captain, up front. Switzerland still in possession, just inside their own half, and Cameroon so far settled back into their shape, closing down those gaps, trying to stop Switzerland from progressing down either wing, and that is why Switzerland are all the way back once more in their own half.
It looks like a game of the way it started that Switzerland may have more of the possession, but that's neither here nor there. I'll tell you what I was going to tell you in a moment, and it's about Shaqiri. In fact, I wish I'd have told you beforehand, because the battle between Noho and Shaqiri is going to be really, really important today. I've watched them 2 or 3 minutes into the game, and every time the ball goes near Shaqiri, Noho is sprinting right towards him, and he's getting within inches of him. And that time, even before I could get the words out, he tackled him with a big slide tackle. They've been told, don't give Shaqiri an inch.
Yeah, they know how dangerous he is as Mbolo is challenged. It comes to Shaqiri, first time ball in, left-footed miscue from Cameroon in the back line from Castelletto, but it bounces all the way through to Onana. And he will just take his time, dressed all in purple, the Cameroon number 1. And we're 0-0 with 5 minutes played on 5 Live, BBC Sounds, and across Africa on the BBC World Service.
Yep, it's always great to be able to talk around the world. That battle we're talking about before Noho, something will happen. I know it's early in the game, but something will happen between them two, right? and I don't know who's going to win it, but Noho is so hyped up. We've seen that in a couple of players already in the games that we've been to already in this World Cup. There's 1 or 2 players, you just notice them earlier on and think, right, you're a bit wired. you're still absolutely hyper about this. You've been thinking about this every night for 4 years. Noho seems like one of them.
Switzerland with the throw on this near side, midway through their own half, up to Mbolo, who is dispossessed, and Cameroon will win the set piece as well. Free kick to Cameroon, midway through Switzerland's half, just about level with that edge of the penalty area, and a first chance for Jan Sommer to prove that he can deal with these balls to the edge of the box.
Again, look at his his shadow behind him. If they can go and put that in there, it's coming straight out of the sun. You know, they're a big side, the Cameroon side. I mean, well done Switzerland. What they're doing is they're playing a very, very high line here. So it should give Sommer a lot of space. But if I was a player taking this, I would doll it up in front of him as if to say, can you see this? And attack it.
So Cameroon have 2 players over this free kick, Mbeumo and Toko Ekambi. It is Mbeumo to swing it in left-footed. It's cleared away by Switzerland, sent forward once more by Cameroon. Switzerland are appealing for the offside, and indeed the flag does go up on the far side. It's a free kick to Switzerland, which is taken quickly by their goalkeeper Jan Sommer. Such a big player for them to have available for this World Cup. Mark Chapman was joking about it earlier, but Switzerland are one of the teams that have named 4 goalkeepers in the squad. But to be fair to them, 2 of them had ankle injuries coming into this tournament, so you can understand why.
I thought you were going to go for the other cliche there. I'm going for a team of not dark horses at this point in time, because Switzerland obviously are another one that you can say that about.
Cameroon pick up the ball just outside their own penalty area with Castelletto as Rigobert Song stands on the edge of his technical area. What a legend of Cameroon he is, the former captain, their record appearance maker, former Liverpool and West Ham defender, of course, as well, back in the late 90s and early 2000s, and a former teammate, of course, of Samuel Eto'o, who is now the president of the Cameroon Football Federation. Cameroon lost possession, Switzerland have it just outside the centre circle. 0-0. As the ball is played down the right-hand side to Vidma. Good sliding challenge from Nuhu and Pat Nevin. To my right, you are smiling.
Oh, run away. And every tackle's a slider. Every tackle's everything into it. We know. Thing is, it's such a dangerous thing to do because you only have to get it slightly wrong and you're yellow carded and there'll be no more slide tackles.
So far, he's got it right, Nuhu. And Cameroon have one possession. They've given it away, though. Here is So. Lays it off to Freuler, and now Granit Xhaka of Arsenal with the captain's armband for Switzerland plays it out to the left-hand side, headed away by Cameroon up towards the halfway line. Will be helped by Elvedi, the Swiss centre-half, and Switzerland play it forward, but Castelletto is there. Ball's gone out of play on the far side anyway, and Cameroon have a throw, 0-0.
They're just trying to kind of feel each other's styles out, aren't they? You know, it's not really settled down much. Very direct from Cameroon, not a lot happening in midfield. As you rightly said, after about 1 minute, they're closing down. That's what they're doing. It seems like, I mean, Anguissa's probably the best at it there, but they're all trying to give no space whatsoever for the Swiss to get their heads up and play those passes. But at the moment, there's not been a great deal of sophistication to the game.
All over the top from Switzerland is dealt with very calmly by Nuhu. He's everywhere at the moment, just drifted into that central position there, knew that Shaqiri was right on his shoulder, and calmly back he goes to Andre Onana.
Yeah, and just looking at, Onana, he's got the ball there, he's almost wanting the Swiss to close him down so that he can play it long beyond them. But the Swiss aren't for a high press at the moment, are they? Well, as I say that, they are.
And Cameroon are playing around it. Ball forward looking for Mbeumo. Could be in behind here. Mbeumo into the penalty area. Ball across goal. Parried away by Sommer. Metz on the volley. And what a chance it was for Toko Ekambi. He's fired it over the bar. Well, he scored such a huge goal for Cameroon as they qualified for this World Cup. Last gasp. And he really should, on the counter, have put Cameroon ahead against Switzerland there. What a chance.
Yeah, I mean, there were so many good things about that move. Comes from the left back, man, Noho again. But then the ball goes down the left-hand side. They could have cut it into the centre. Choupo-Moting was waiting in there. Never did that, but it got a rebound back out from nowhere. They broke brilliantly, Cameroon. So that seems to be their game plan at the moment.
Switzerland try and come forward. The ball will be intercepted on the edge of the penalty area, and Cameroon will bring it forward once more with Ongla. Now laid off out to the left-hand side, and Noho. Fields now as Cameroon just enjoy a little spell of possession. There is Toko Ekambi. What a chance it was for the man who's been in decent form for Cameroon this year. He scored 5 goals at the Africa Cup of Nations at the start of 2022, and as we say, that late extra time winner against Algeria, that secured Cameroon the place here at the World Cup. Switzerland's win back possession just inside their own half. They had dominated the possession, but it's someone who's made the only save, although Onana might be caught into action here. Well defended by Cameroon on the edge of their own penalty area. Noho steers it away. Here is Choupo-Moting, the captain, but he loses out. So we'll bring it forward for Switzerland. And now here is Granit Xhaka, who'll go from range. Well, we know he can hit it. And this time, he hits it over.
Well, he seems annoyed, but he often does. But I don't know what he's annoyed about there. He's kind of shouting the ball, and I didn't see any deflection or anything like that. What was intriguing about that brilliant break earlier on, Toko Ekambi will be disappointed he didn't get his shot on target, but he'll be not disappointed at all to know that he has now got the run and the pace of both the players playing in front of him. He gave them 3 or 4 yards and he tore away from them. So he'll be looking for balls over the top, and if I were his marker, Vidmer, I'd be leaving a couple of yards.
12 minutes gone on 5 Live, BBC Sounds, and across Africa on the World Service. 0-0 between Switzerland and Cameroon as Switzerland pick up possession just outside the centre circle. Nice little interchange of passes between So and Xhaka. Switzerland look to build down the left-hand side. Cameroon standing up well with 5. Ball into the area with a decent one though, just ahead of Mbolo. Cameroon will bring it out of their own box. But what a wicked delivery that was from the left-hand side. They picked it up once more. Switzerland and Mbolo into the area. Was he barged over there? He's gone down. He's appealing. The flag's up on this near side anyway for offside.
But that would have been an interesting call, wouldn't it? You know, yeah, it was offside. I mean, pretty clearly offside when the ball was played through from Shaqiri. But there was no attempt at the ball there. That was just a shove. I mean, had that not been offside, I think that would have been given as a penalty. However, it's a big if. It was given. Beginning to liven up a little bit now. Beginning to see little chances, little gaps. Beginning to show in Shaqiri. He's not done a huge amount of running around, but he's got some quality when he's on the ball hand.
Very much so. Still the top assist maker for Chicago Fire this season. The former Liverpool Stoke man, Inter Milan, Bayern Munich, of course, as well. And still such a huge player for Switzerland. You have it at the back with Sommer out on this right-hand side. Now goes Vidmer over the halfway line. The right back will drive, being pursued by Toko Ekambi. He's back there defending and does well, wins it. He changes passes with no hope. Cameroon will send it up towards halfway. The header was initially won, but it's kicked up now by Choupo-Moting, and Cameroon are in behind again. Choupo-Moting, good save by Sommer. Was there a little push in the back? The flag's up anyway now for offside. Over on the far side, well, it was Manchester City's Manuel Akanji getting back there. To be fair, there wasn't much of an appeal from Choupo-Moting. Sommer stood tall and made the save, but that's the second time Cameroon have got in behind the Swiss back line, and still it's 0-0.
On the left-hand side. Akanji, to be honest, in days gone, but by the way, he has given it for a free kick when the ball was won originally by Choupo-Moting. I think he's suggesting studs up. I didn't see anything wrong with that at all. The referee's got that one wrong. So that would have been a real call had he scored with it, but good case getting in there. But that was actually very good from Akanji. He got back, he had a couple of yards that he had to make up on him. Well, a bit of a nudge, put him off the shot.
2 big chances for Cameroon, but Switzerland coming forward. Shaqiri's ball into the area is deflected and will go behind for a Switzerland corner. And as you say, Pat Nevin, it's just starting to open up.
Yeah, just like the weather around here. It's warming up nicely at the moment. And yeah, it looks like one of those games. There's such different styles. You know, we're so used to watching particular Premier League games. Everyone plays out from the back. Everyone plays their goalkeepers and the centre backs. The Cameroons are holding no truck with that. If there's anyone near them, they're lobbing it forward. Do you know what? It's almost worked for them twice.
Well, they've got that pace in behind. They've used it so far to good effect, but it's still 0-0. Switzerland with this corner, headed away on the corner of the 6-yard box and up towards Toko Ekambi, who loses out and will be picked up by Shaqiri down the right-hand side. Here is Ruben Vargas, who's come over to this right-hand side after the corner, but Switzerland have lost it and Cameroon can come forward once more. Here is Toko Ekambi down this left-hand side, which is where, as Pat Nevins pointed out, all of Cameroon's attacks have come so far, and they've come to good effect. Choupo-Moting ushered away from the penalty area, and Switzerland will bring the ball clear with Granit Xhaka.
Feel a wee bit sorry for him. Go over there. Everything is coming down the left. He finds himself in loads and loads of space in the right wing there. And it's as if you're not part of our gang. We're going down the left all the time. And they've got to try and split it a little bit. Sometimes give him an opportunity to run at his defender. But they're very, very weighted. I'm beginning to wonder if there's a slope in this pitch going from one side to the other.
Well, we'll find out in the second half. As Vargas comes down the left-hand side for Switzerland, looking to build once more. 0-0 with Cameroon. Good interception in the centre of the pitch by Ongisa. And Ngwet will play it out to the right-hand side for Cameroon. And now Mbomo of Brentford, on his World Cup debut, gets a chance to try and show what he can do down the right-hand side. But at the moment, Switzerland have Cameroon penned inside their own half. They now do clear up towards halfway, and Choupo-Moting, who tumbles on the edge of the centre circle, and Switzerland will pick it up with a Akanji.
Yep, they're that long ball again. But, if it works, just use it. And Choupo-Moting, he's fighting and battling everything. And he's against two very good centre-backs. I mean, that's one area where the Swiss are very, very strong. I think Choupo-Moting would back himself against anyone at the moment.
Yeah, in unbelievable form at the moment. Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting, 11 goals in his last 10 games for club and country. When you think back to that spell he had at Stoke, 30 Premier League appearances in that one season with them, he's been hit with a Premier League move again. It's such as his form for Bayern Munich.
Honestly, I can't believe the player that I watched then is the player I'm not watching now, because he just didn't look as if he had, anything near the quality to get where he's got. So well done him to make sure that he improved.
18 minutes played, 0-0 between Switzerland and Cameroon, as Switzerland have it with Freuler on the right-hand side, just inside the Cameroon half. Here is Granit Xhaka now, sees the run over on that far side as Switzerland look to build. Vargas will collect it just down by the byline, pulls it back across once more as the cross is whipped in. Freuler will head it as Switzerland are forced out of the penalty area. Widmer had made the run, Xhaka spotted him, but just a little bit too much on it. And the ball is behind for a Cameroon goal kick.
That was a really good chance. I mean, Xhaka, he's played the right ball. He sees the ball that's on. He's just not been able to play it in the right position there. And it's one of those ones, as a player, you hear where you've missed that by a couple of yards. You put a little bit too much weight on it. You probably shouldn't have done that, because there was plenty of time. There was plenty of space. You could have calmly played it into an area, could have attacked, but that was more of a chance than it looked at pursuing. But without exploding into action, there are chances beginning to be created on either side.
Onana in possession for Cameroon, the goalkeeper just outside his own penalty area. We're talking about surprise revivals and Choupo-Moting, Granit Xhaka. I mean, that story's been going on for a while at Arsenal, but again, this season, I mean, the turnaround he's had there, it's just still remarkable as Cameroon pick it up just on the edge of their own penalty area and Onana will clear away.
It's one of those ones, you want to go on Twitter and look at everyone who said at Arsenal, get him sacked. People that said that at the time. I don't think they necessarily all feel that way now. No, he's been great. And it's been about him as well. He's had to show an improvement in attitude and a lot of things, and he has consistently done that over the last little while.
Yeah, and Arteta's so key to that as well.
Exactly.
That rehabilitation and revitalisation of Granit Xhaka at Arsenal. Cameroon in possession over on this near side with Toko Ekambi, who holds onto the ball despite the close attentions of three red Switzerland shirts, and they play the ball out to the right-hand side, and Nguet in midfield for Cameroon. Forward now to Mbumo, who will play it back once more. Nguet plays it over the top, looking for Choupo-Moting, and Jan Sommer has enough time there just to take the ball down with one of those bright orange boots and roll it out very casually to Manuel Akanji.
Yeah, and now that the Swiss know, wait a minute, Sommer was close there, wasn't he?
Very risky there from Switzerland. The tempo had just dropped out of the game, and that's fine if you're in control, but Switzerland weren't there. Sommer had to lift it to his teammates, and Switzerland rather fortunate to get away with that as they win a free kick on the halfway line.
It was closing down, good closing down by Mbumo. He's noticed that Sommer's got the ball at his feet. They've still not asked the question yet, have they? They've not put a cross in there to say, look, can you've got the sunny eyes, they're a big pair from side, particularly the centre backs. They've not been able to do that yet, and they should try and do that at some point in time. Just before we go in much further, watching the game play just now, and Guisa just looks like a class apart from just about any other player in this field just now. He is dominant, controlling, calm on the ball. He's a class act out there.
Switzerland in possession with Granit Xhaka, plays it out to Rodriguez on the left-hand side, and now Vargas ball into the penalty area, cleared away by Nguet, and will be brought down calmly by Fai to clear up towards halfway. Yes, Franco Guisa, another one of those that, again, has gone from strength to strength since leaving the Premier League. Napoli is who he is excelling for at the moment. 3 goals, 6 assists for them. Not a bad return for a defensive midfielder, but having an absolutely outstanding season for them after leaving Fulham.
And you can see the confidence in his plays. Every single ball that comes, so he believes he's got it under control. He's dragging players towards him, and he's bringing his teammates in all the time. He's had a very, very good start to this. I was going to say game, but competition, I suppose.
Ball is all the way through into the Cameroon penalty area to Onana, midway through the first half, here on 5 Live, BBC Sounds, and across Africa. on the BBC World Service.
Well, if we're talking about Africa, we'll do my World Service show later today, and Basson is on with us as well. I think you'll be interested in this game.
There we go. Do tune into that as well. Pat Navin with us here through the afternoon and through the World Cup on the BBC as Nguet, under pressure, clears away up towards halfway. Choupo-Moting just gets something on the header, but there's no green shirt there to receive it. And Nico Alvedi will pick it up for Switzerland to go all the way back into the centre circle with Manuel Akanji.
Very interesting, this Shaqiri. Look where he's picking the ball up now. He's at right back now. He doesn't fancy that tackling. You know, he's just falling further and further off it. It's kind of why you look at him, because Shaqiri sometimes does that. You know, he's such a good player. But if you go and, how do you put this subtly? Give him a few tackles.
Here is some space now for Ongisa out to the right-hand side and Mbumo into the penalty area. Switzerland trying to stop him. He's still going, riding the challengers. Pulls it back to Ongisa into the penalty area. Now is Toko Ekambi inside the box. Switzerland getting the red shirts back. Noho plays the ball in. Deflection of Vidma behind for the Cameroon corner.
Can they get it to Mbumo a wee bit more often? He gets the ball in. He looks fantastic for it. You know, we know he's a quality player, but his pace, his confidence, he's just been brought into the game there. This whole stadium lifted, absolutely lifted when he got the ball there. And it's interesting to see that Cameroon are playing a lot of long balls early on. Do you know what? If only they could actually play a little bit more through the centre area. They have got real quality in the wide areas. Anyway, that was one of the best moves of the game.
I think it might be as well what you touched on before. Everything's come down the left, so as soon as he gets it on the right, everyone thinks, right, here I go.
Got to do something.
Here's a reminder that actually the right wing does exist as well in this game, and I'm on it. It will be Mbumo to swing the corner in. Oh, it was a good delivery as well, looking for Castelletto, who just misses it. Cameroon will recycle from the right-hand side. Somewhere was sure. Switzerland get ahead on it and send it out of the penalty area. Vargas will collect it, and Switzerland should and are able to clear up towards halfway.
I just wonder, that sort of moment there, it seemed to change something in the Cameroon players. That confidence, a bit more confidence about, you know, playing it with each other. And I wonder if that'll change the way the game is. Because at the moment, though, you know, I'm talking a lot about Cameroon, but more of the ball has been held by Switzerland, but not in a particularly exciting way. You know, not in an inventive way. Whereas when Cameroon get it, they'll have less of the possession guessing, but they'll look more dangerous with it. And that break there, I just wonder if they start using both sides, they can stretch this Swiss defence.
They're looking to stretch it down the right-hand side with Mbumo once more. It's well covered by Elvedi all the way back to Sommer. Yes, you look at the way that Brel Mbolo started for Switzerland, the 25-year-old who was born in Cameroon but moved to Switzerland as a child and declared his allegiance to that country as a teenager. Lively first 5 minutes or so, but then we barely mentioned him, and that is a debate for Switzerland. Who takes this position up front? And Bolo's got it today, but they have Haris Seferovic, another player who was a regular for them at the Euros last summer. But it's been a bit of a debate in the Swiss camp as Cameroon come down the left-hand side. Once again, Toko Ekambi trying to trick his way into the penalty area, pulls it back to the edge of the box. Option for Ongala to shoot, but he'll play it out to the right-hand side as Cameroon do let fly from the edge of the box, and it's rather wasted from Colin Spy. He had Mbumo on the overlap there, could have used him, and it was always going to have to be pretty special from there. But again, Cameroon down this left-hand side, and we've mentioned how well Mbumo's done in those glimpses on the right, but they're getting so much space with Toko Ekambi.
Yeah, I'm sure there are a few Swiss out there who said, go on, shoot. Because the way he approached it, you thought, you're just a bit excitable here. There was no shot on there. There was no chance he was going to score for that. That was a wasted opportunity.
Switzerland looking to come down the other end. Cameroon do well to get a foot in on the edge of their own penalty area from Castelletto, who clears out. He's Colin Spy as well. He's never scored for Cameroon. He's got over 50 caps for them. So, if it is a player that's going to be trying his luck from there, you would rather it was Toko Ekambi or Choupo-Moting.
Well, the fact that Choupo-Moting was in the middle, they're trying to get it wide so they can give him a cross. That was a perfect opportunity, and I'm sure, well, I'm not guessing, I know Choupo-Moting was absolutely furious that ball wasn't put in there for him to attack.
So goal kick to Cameroon as Switzerland can't make anything of that latest attack. 0-0 here on 5 Live, BBC Sounds and across Africa on the BBC World Service. Coming up later for you today on the BBC, 3 Further matches from this World Cup: Uruguay against South Korea, that's at 1 o'clock UK time. Portugal, Ghana follows that, and Brazil, Serbia.
@m6.fr. Voyons si ça bouge. En général, oui. Dans le Money Time, dans les minutes qui viennent, du nouveau peut-être.
Every time this comes on radio 2, I turn it right up.
The heads go in, the shoulders go in. I'm like bouncing around on the seat. Probably one of the world's most embarrassing mums because of your show.
Scott Mills on Radio 2.
So 24 hours to go then until one of the tournament favourites kicks off their campaign. So we've nipped around the corner to flavour some of the excitement outside the Brazil Hotel, which really is a bit of a slice of Copacabana. The hotel's lined with palm trees. There's a huge bright blue pool glittering in the central courtyard. And above us, what looks and sounds, I imagine you can hear it as well, be an open air beach bar which really comes alive at night. It's all lit up yellow, greens, blues of Brazil, pumping out South American party anthems. So still 24 hours to go, by the way, until their first match, but the party has started. Anyone connected to the team is milling around the hotel. We've just had Gabriel Martinelli's dad come past us. Joining us now, as we understand it, the Brazilian equivalent of our very own Mark Chapman, leading the Brazil coverage on global TV. We have Andrea. Hey, hello, welcome.
Hey, Emma, welcome. Thank you.
24 hours to go then. I mean, you've been here all day having to give us a flavour of the excitement that's building.
Yes, I guess it's been a long time since Brazil arrived in a World Cup as favorite like this. So there's a big, everybody is looking at it. And Brazil will only debut in the last day. So a lot of energy. The supporters are here like crazy, waiting for this moment, and some underdogs winning. So we know all eyes are looking for Brazil, for England, for Spain, and well, you know, Brazilians are always looking for the cup. There's no other good result, so a lot of pressure as well.
Yeah, you mentioned crazy supporters there. Coincidentally, walking past now, let's bring him in, shall we? Would you like to introduce a special guest?
Yes, Tomer is one of the most famous supporters from Brazil. He was like the Mimi of 2018, and he lived in Russia just because of this Mimi. Right. He became a Russian. He can speak Russian if you don't believe, but he can speak Russian.
So a Brazil fan on the global stage, and I must say, just the most wonderful outfit. It's a yellow and green striped Brazil top. Also, yeah, what's this? The Viking Brazil colours. Thomas, tell us how excited you are, how confident you are for Brazil in this tournament.
I don't want to talk, but I will show you how confident am I. Look at this.
Okay, for the benefit of our listeners, there is a tattoo of the World Cup on Thomas' thigh.
With the space here to 2022. And you thought that I've realized in Russia, you don't know, yesterday, after the Argentina, Saudi Arabia, I am viral in Saudi Arabia as well. I swear. So, I don't know. Maybe it's in my blood, being the World Cup. I am a part of it. I'm really proud to be one of the most famous fans in the world. And I love football, most because of the fan, less because of the game, most because of the atmosphere, of the feeling of belonging. And wait, because Brazil will win the 6th star.
You're off to a party tonight, aren't you?
Yes, I was invited for a dinner in this hotel, the Brazilian squad team hotel, no, but not with them. It was with fan leaders from different countries. Yeah. So a celebration, a confraternization, because it's the first main event after the pandemics, you know, after COVID. So we are anxious for it. Because, you know, the Olympics was like a dance with your sister, you know, it's not such exciting. And now we are back, fans from the entire world.
Okay, well, we'll let you go.
Come on.
We've now got more Brazilian fans coming in. One of them dresses as a Brazilian superhero in Brazilian lycra and a yellow cape draping down, a yellow hat. Who have we got here? Hello.
Hello, how are you? Brazil will win this World Cup.
Confidence is fine. Tomo, we'll let you go to the party. You may go to the ball, but thank you for speaking to us and enjoy the World Cup. And hopefully you'll be at a tattoo shop in the very near future.
I hope so as well. I wish luck to England team as well. Harry Kane is a good striker. Maybe.
Are you worried about potentially playing England?
About what? About whom? England? No, I'm kidding. It's we need to respect. It's the biggest league in the world. It's the most difficult league in the world. But I really trust on my team. Beijo e vai meu Brasil brasileiro, caralho.
Felipe, to wrap up, I almost feel sorry for Tite. The squad is so strong. Who are the ones to watch, other than the obvious Neymar, etc., etc.? Gabriel Martinelli's dad just walked past. Do you think he's going to play a part in this tournament?
Since we have now 26 players and it's so hot here, probably we will see a lot of players coming from the bench playing. We have more substitutions now, so for sure the whole team can be used a little more, and we have like 9 offensive players. Anyone can play. Rodrigo, Martinelli. In Brazil, they were sorry because Gabriel from Flamengo wasn't here, but we have a tough team, and Neymar always carried kind of in his back the responsibility, and now we have like more talented players to share the ball, to play. Watch for Paquetá. He's in amazing moments. He can play a little more defensive, constructing the...
Well, we've seen him in the Premier League a little bit. Yeah.
Yes, now he's in West Ham. Yeah. So watch out for Paquetá. He can play in many places of the midfield. As Neymar, we're used to see him holding the ball. Now he's a little bit like a midfielder, passing for the strikers. I think his best version for the World Cup. So we are very optimistic. We are kind of like, oh my God, we're so optimistic. Something's wrong, you know?
Well, we've seen there's been some shocking results, but you know, in England we have a phrase, it's coming home.
Yes.
Is that the feeling in Brazil? Is the World Cup coming home after 20 years?
All the World Cups, that's the feeling. It's coming home. It doesn't matter. Even when we're not good, it's coming home. But it's been a while that's not coming home, huh?
Okay, well, enjoy the next 24 hours. Enjoy the game. But for tonight, enjoy the party.
Thank you. I'm not going to the party. I'm just going to stay here and work. The supporters party, we work.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Emma Saunders outside the Brazil team hotel last night. Brazil not the only South American side in action today at the World Cup. Our next game in a couple of hours' time, so 1 o'clock kickoff in the UK, 4 o'clock here in Qatar, is Uruguay against South Korea. And a bit like Denmark yesterday, the phrase dark horses has been used a lot to describe Uruguay, hasn't it? Maz Faruqi, who'll be our commentator for this one.
Hello, Mark. Yeah, excellent sort of blend of youth and experience, Uruguay. And I think people are very excited to see what they might do in this tournament. Diego Alonso has taken over at the beginning of the year to ensure that they got through to the 2022 FIFA World Cup. And there are some great names, of course, down the years, but strikers who could appear at their 4th World Cup in Luis Suarez and Edison Cavani. We've got Diego Godin as well. Really interesting to see whether Cavani does start. He really has only managed to play 1 full 90 minutes this season for Valencia since he left Manchester United at the end of last season. Suarez, though, and Godin going back to play their club football in South America, all with an eye on getting themselves ready for this World Cup. This is their swan song, so they're preparing with one eye really firmly on this.
Rob Green is with us as well. Pablo Zabaleta was sitting where you are yesterday, and he was on an off-air conversation about Uruguay. He said the thing with Uruguay fans, very small country, 3 million people, Uruguay fans, they don't complain about senior players still being on the squad. They don't say they are over the hill, why have they not been moved on, when talking about Suarez or Cavani or Diego Godin as well. They're more than happy for them to still be playing.
When they're that good, yeah. I mean, when they've got a pool of players, which clearly from that amount of people is going to be so small. So you've got to take what you can when you can, when you can. And if that means you carry them with someone better and younger, then if not, you've just got to keep what you've got and keep going with them, because they keep qualifying. They keep doing it, don't they? I mean, just saying there, the stats there, 4 World Cups for any player is an incredible achievement. But with some such a small population. It's amazing.
And then, man, they have the brighter stars as well, who are...
الو السلام عليكم. وعليكم السلام. لاباس؟ لاباس الحمد لله. ها ان شاء الله بارك الله فيك. واحد.
We're already very established. It's not like there's potential there. You know, when you look at Valverde, when you look at Nunez, of course, the young stars are established.
Yeah, Valverde, fantastic season, hasn't he? I mean, he's been absolutely brilliant, and you expect him to play a key part. I mean, Rodrigo Bentancur as well has been brilliant, and Tottenham clearly missed him, didn't they, when he was out for a couple of weeks earlier this season. Manchester United's Facundo Pellistri in as well, even though he hasn't played a minute for Manchester United this season. So some really interesting young players as well. That blend of youth and experience is what makes this Uruguay team such an exciting one. Really excited to see what attacking options they have later.
Maz, thank you very much. So Clinton Morrison will be alongside Maz for Uruguay, South Korea. By the way, when we do Brazil, Serbia, that's Alistair Bruce Ball and Chris Sutton. Although Chris Ball needs to get away an appearance apparently on Japanese television this afternoon, which I think will have to be seen to be believed. So we'll keep an eye across Chris's appearance on Japanese television. For now, back to Vicky and Pat and Switzerland, Cameroon.
Thanks very much, Mark. As the players enter the field for the second half, Switzerland are out and ready to go. Cameroon just arriving onto the pitch, playing in their green shirts, green shorts and golden socks. Switzerland all in red. It will be Cameroon and Choupo-Moting preparing to get us underway. We talked at the end of that first half, Pat, about what attacking substitutes Switzerland could make. We have to say, attacking-wise, Cameroon have looked very dangerous at times, but you look at their bench as well, and the name that stands out, Vincent Aboubakar. I mean, they've got so many, but for his experience, and there's a debate about whether he and Choupo-Moting can start together. At the moment, it's Choupo-Moting who's got the nod for this opener as we get underway. Cameroon playing from left to right in this second half, but he's named such an attacking squad. They have so many options, Cameroon, if they want to change it up from the bench for Rigobert Song.
Well, unless they get many problems at the back, because they've got very few defenders on that bench. I think 3 that are out and out defenders on the bench, and considering the games are becoming thick and fast, I think they'll be hoping for no suspensions and no injuries in that back line.
So Cameroon with an early throw down this right-hand side, deep in Switzerland territory. Five will play it to Mbumo down by the corner flag. They're all appealing for it. The decision is goal kick to Switzerland. And Jan Sommer raises a big gloved hand, and the ball will be thrown to him, ready to take this goal kick. So no changes at half-time. Sommer in goal for Switzerland, just taking a little bit of a chance. Choupo-Moting closing down, but does clear up towards halfway. The back four for Switzerland are Vidma, Akanji, Alveri and Rodriguez. Ahead of them it's Freuler and Xhaka, the captain, with Shaqiri, So and Vargas supporting Mbolo, who was born in Cameroon himself but has grown up in Switzerland since he was a young boy up front. As Switzerland played around outside their own penalty area, Cameroon with Onana in goal. The back four of Faye, Castelletto, Nkulu and Noho. Ahead of them it's Ongla, Ungwet and Ongisa, with Mbumo and Toko Akambi, who looked very lively in the first half, supporting Choupo-Moting up front. As Vargas will bring it down the left-hand side for Switzerland, looking to find a route into the penalty area. It's well blocked away at the expense of being a little bit winded there, Brian Mbumo. It's out for a Switzerland, but he's all right now. He's moving back towards the penalty area.
Gelati buffetta fino all'ultimo pix.
That wasn't complicated. The pass through, Shaqiri's actually in the byline, but he doesn't do it to get there. He just walks into the position. No one's even close to him at that point in time. So they've overcome covered far too far when the ball's played over there, and Shaqiri just has to put it into the dangerous area. Nothing complicated, but he does the right thing. He's got the assist and scored by Mbolo, and as you're saying, he didn't make any big celebration. But what it should do is ask the questions, Cameroon. Okay, you've come out of sleep for the second half. Got to wake up now.
Yeah, he just had a little moment there, Rel and Bolo. What a moment for the 25-year-old. Scoring at the World Cup, putting his side ahead. And he pointed to the Switzerland fans and then to the Cameroon fans behind the opposing goal as well. But it's Switzerland ahead. And you did say, Pat, that you wanted to see much, much more from Shaqiri. And he's done what we know he can do. He's popped up, he's got the assist. As Cameroon win a free kick.
He didn't have to do a lot. He just had to walk. Massive, massive space that he got in there. But it's about having that bit of quality. And that's what we do say about him. He has got the skill and the quality if you give him space. But he hadn't been given space before that. But on that occasion, it was ridiculous. In the opposing penalty area, to be given that amount of space to a good player. And by the way, well done doing it with your right foot.
So, free kick to Cameroon as they look to hit back immediately. Taken by the left foot of Mbumo to the far post, headed back across goal. Sommer was in there, got something on it just ahead of Nicolas Nkulu. And the ball is cleared out for a Cameroon throw on the far side. But Nicolas Nkulu just causing a few problems in there.
Yeah, I mean, it's the oldest one in the book. This game needed a goal, and it really did need a goal. It's got it early in the second half, so that will liven it up. It will certainly liven the Cameroon team up, who they've done quite well in the first half, but they may well have to make some changes. You know, they may well have to bring on another striker, and because if you start any World Cup with a loss in your first game, you're up against the 8 ball right away.
And Bolo, the goal scorer for Switzerland, is challenged and fouled, says our referee. Cameroon not happy with that at all. I have to say, I didn't see too much wrong with that. He's let play go. In fact, it comes out to this left-hand side. Switzerland taking the free kick quickly as Vargas, little 1-2 down the left-hand side. Now, Jack has gone down, stayed down. Referee saw nothing wrong with that challenge from Collins Fye, and Mbumo won't keep control on the high line. Jack is still down, and Switzerland are now complaining about that tackle on Granit Xhaka.
Well, they're right to. They're absolutely right. That was a foul all day long. You know, he's just blocked him. He's got nothing in the ball at all. He's actually kicked him and he's blocked him at the same time. It's just whether Xhaka is particularly badly. I suspect he'll be okay, but you never quite can tell. He's complaining to the referee, and rightly so. It was a free kick, but he'll be fine.
Yep, he's up to his feet. His side leading by a goal to nil, and Switzerland taking the chance to come and have a drinks break. A few of their players, official drinks break, but a few of their players over on the edge of the technical area in front of their manager Murat Yakin, former Switzerland captain, never played at a World Cup though. And there was a lovely video of him sending a load of Swiss chocolate to Northern Ireland. That's after Northern Ireland held Italy to a goalless draw to secure Switzerland's qualification. Qualified ahead of Italy for the World Cup as Mbolo running through again is beaten to the ball by Onana for Cameroon. Yeah, he sent them 9.3 kilograms. That's for the 93 minutes that Northern Ireland held out for, which is quite a nice gesture. But that's why people talking about Switzerland coming into this tournament as well as they did at the Euros last summer, reaching the quarterfinals and then finishing ahead of the European champions Italy in their qualification group, sending Italy into the playoffs. And of course, we all know what happened there. Italy not at this World Cup as Cameroon come down the right-hand side. Trained by a goal to nil. Mbumo is fouled by Vargas and will be a free kick to Cameroon midway through the Switzerland half on the right-hand side.
It's a tough one for Rodriguez. He's got himself into a position there where he knows that he cannot allow Mbumo to turn. If Mbumo turns, he's going to do. He's going to just run past him for pace. He doesn't need to do a trick or anything. So he's getting tight to him. And he's giving a foul away there, but that's okay. It's not in the most dangerous area. However, I think Mbumo will be quite happy with that because it's a kind of, you either get a foul or you go by the defender. Both are okay for you.
So Mbeumo plays this in, left-footed once again, looking for the run at the far post. It's well taken by Sommer, but it's notable, isn't it, that they're not keeping Toko Akambi and Mbeumo over at set pieces anymore. They're sending the extra body around the penalty area.
Incorrect. Absolutely spot on. That was driving me nuts. And I must thought about it in the first half. But in the first half, you're the most skillful players you've got in the team. Send them both out on the corner flag when you're taking it. Madness. And you don't even do any tricks. You just lump it into the middle then. It was just...
Well,
I'm not impressed by that.
It's not like then we see some huge strategic ploy. And I know as a Switzerland player about to stop on the edge of his area, I know that sometimes you don't want the opponents to know which player is going to play it in. But you think, well, one of them surely is going to be more dangerous in and around the area of Switzerland, looking dangerous coming forward. The ball is cut out though before it can reach Vargas and will be cleared away by Fai down the right-hand side for Cameroon. Switzerland leading by a goal to nil. Here is Shaqiri, left-hand side this time. Whips the ball in. It's headed away. Picked up by So for Switzerland. And now Widmer over on that right-hand side. That little patch of sunshine that has crept away from the Cameroonian penalty area. It's just shading the very left-hand edge. But importantly for Andre Onana, he doesn't have the same difficulty as Jan Sommer did in the first half. His area is all in shade unless he wants to sprint out right to the edge of the left-hand side of his box.
And that's what you need to do if you've got these early games. That's something that is always going to happen in these early games. When the keepers going to suffer, when the keepers is going to get away with it. And by the way, Shaqiri has absolutely turned up. He's finding lots of gaps now. And I think that little bit of tiredness from some of the defenders, he's actually now getting to find those little pockets of space now and looking a bit more dangerous.
Switzerland pick up possession just outside the Cameroon penalty area. Good sliding challenge by Noho on that far side to stop.
Does he know no other type of tackling?
No, and mostly he's spot on, hasn't he?
A little bit. If you go off your feet and you get it slightly wrong, you will get a yellow card. But well, that's his style. It's worked for him so far.
So Switzerland leading by a goal to nil here on 5 Live BBC Sounds and across Africa on the World Service.
But we mentioned earlier, just to say, we said really early on that battle between them two would be important. Well, the reason why they scored is because Shaqiri stood out there where Noho should have been, and he'd switched off just for a few moments. And that's all it needed for Shaqiri. The ball came to him, he only took one touch and put it into the middle, and it was a goal. And it just tiny little things like that can make a difference in a game like this.
Switzerland pick up the ball with Xhaka in acres of space, still inside his own half. Oh, there was good movement there off the Cameroon back line, but Vargas can't keep hold of it. Nguet will play it over the halfway line. Here come Cameroon with Noho down the left-hand side with Toko Akambi now, forced infield and plays the ball back to Nguet. Cameroon trailing by a goal to nil in this opener in Group G. Forward they come once more with Chupamo Singh, and Mbeumo is dispossessed. Choupo-Moting into the penalty area, right hand side, down to the byline, still Choupo-Moting
in the middle. He had to keep a hold of the ball. You're right, so perfect there. He's on the byline. There aren't 6 red shirts around him, but he still causes all sorts of problems, and that's good coaching by Sommer. It shows you Choupo-Moting, he's just not getting enough help at the moment, and at some point Cameroon are going to have to change that and get somebody either right beside them as a 10 or another striker beside them as well.
Well, we've mentioned his brilliant form for Bayern Munich this season, and there was a little glimpse of the skill that he still has at 33 years old. Referee making sure that everything is ready to go in the penalty area, and now again just the one set piece taker it is, and Mbeumo for Cameroon to send it into that packed 6-yard box. Big punch from Sommer, the blue figure come flying out of his 6-yard box, sends it out of the penalty area, comes back in, but Sommer will claim and bowl it out underarm. Switzerland leading by a goal to nil, and the space is opening up once more for Mbolo. He's got Vargas ahead of him, and Vargas picks it up right inside of the penalty area, and the ball across. There's no other word for it. It's absolutely shocking.
That looked like a left-footed player trying to kick with his right foot, didn't it? That's a problem there. That was awful. He's getting himself into a great position, but his balance was all wrong there. Just needs to slide it across between the goalkeeper and the centre-backs. Didn't manage to do that. So it's straight over the crossbar. Poor, because it was a very good break. And that's maybe the thing about the Swiss. They do seem to have good game management, don't they?
Cameroon Cameroon trying to build something into the penalty area, cleared away by Switzerland. So we can head for an update from our correspondent John Murray, who is watching England's training.
Yes, Vicky, I'm down here to the south of the city at the Wakrah Stadium, which is where England are training. The latest training session on the eve of the match against the United States is just about to get underway, and the players have come out in dribs and drabs into the bright, warm sunshine here, and almost the last man out was the captain, Harry Kane, who is there. He will train with England again today. Likewise, Harry Maguire is there. Remember, he was unwell during the match against Iran the other day. Kyle Walker and Callum Wilson are also both out there. So, in fact, 25 of the 26-man squad are there. It's only James Maddison who is missing again today, and the noise that I'm hearing on that are that it might not be too many more days before James Maddison is. But the main news here at Al Wakrah is that the England captain, Harry Kane, is just walking now into the circle of England players, and he will take part in training today.
Thanks very much, John. Good news for England then. Huge day tomorrow for the home nations. England against the USA, Wales against Iran. Our build-up starts from 6 a.m. in 5 live breakfasts. Here it is Switzerland 1, Cameroon 0 still as Cameroon play the ball into the penalty area, cleared away by Rodriguez at the Al Janoub Stadium. And the goal scorer for Switzerland, Dembolo, picked the ball up, but he's been dispossessed. Here is Anguissa, midway through the Switzerland half, plays it out to the right-hand side, and Bumo trying to trick his way past Strombolo as he got back to defend for Switzerland, and is forced back now to the halfway line, where Nicolas Nkulu will pick it up, one of 3 players for Cameroon in this squad who have been to a World Cup before, 3rd World Cup for Nkulu, Choupo-Moting, another of those, and of course the man on the bench as well as Choupo-Moting on the edge of the penalty area will lay it off to Anguissa. Cameroon pushing for this equaliser, plays it out to the right-hand side. Now swung in by Collins Fight, headed away by Vidmer over on that far side, and Shaqiri will chase it and find space for Switzerland over the halfway line. In field now to Granite Jackets. Switzerland looking to lead to their 1-goal advantage. Here is Vargas, edge of the area. Good counter this from Switzerland. The green shirts are back though for Cameroon, but they're still finding space. Here is Shaqiri, plays the ball forward, so it's behind. Selection takes it away. And Cameroon will clear up to Choupo-Moting. That 3rd player, Abubakar, of course, will hope maybe to get on, but it's Cameroon coming forward now towards the penalty area. Onglar is cleared away though.
They're not getting the numbers, are they? They're not getting the numbers. If you're 1-0 down, when you make a break like that, people from the midfield, every player, get forward, try and give them a little bit of support. They're not getting forward quick enough. So it doesn't actually matter who actually gets the ball up there. Sometimes it's Choupo-Moting, sometimes it's Buemo. You've got to get up and help your mate. Left totally in his own there. And, you know, you're not going to win the game unless you take some chances.
Here is Mbolo trying to get in behind the Cameroon back line, which we saw Cameroon do to Switzerland, but Switzerland are doing it now. Vargas into the penalty area, plays the ball across under pressure. And the referee, what's he pointing for here?
Corner, yeah, definitely corner, yeah.
There we go, deflection on the way through from Vargas. Corner to Switzerland.
I think that was quite good defending there, and Nkulu couldn't really take a chance and get in there. You had to time it absolutely spot on. It's one of those ones, if you miss the ball, take the player. It's a stick-on penalty kick. But they're very good, very smart looking. The comfort of the Swiss at the moment is quite impressive. They've not really, under too pressure. Even in the breaks by the Cameroon team, they've got the 4 defenders there. They've usually got 2 sitting in front of them, so they're not looking in too much danger. However, they do look good in the break.
So Vargas here to take this corner, swung into the edge of the 6-yard box, powerfully headed away for Cameroon by Nkulu, who is screaming at his defenders to move up, to get out, and they do so. They've won the throw on this near side as well. Switzerland 1, Cameroon 0 on 5 Live, BBC Sounds, and across Africa on the BBC World Service. 18 minutes gone in this second half, and the ball's out of play for a Switzerland throw.
Yeah, I mean, again, I talk about game management, and the Swiss, they have actually got it sussed here at the moment. The back 4 aren't budging. They're hardly going forward, the 2 fullbacks. And then in that middle area, Frowley and Xhaka. I mean, they're scarcely moving off the toes of the centre backs. So that space of 6 players to break through, at the moment it doesn't. Cameroon don't look even close to getting through there. So that's the time to start thinking, can we make some changes?
Good turn by Choupo-Moting on the halfway line. He was pulled back there. And that will be a free kick to Switzerland and a yellow card as well for Nico Elvedi. Promoting, you can see his frustration there. It was a decent opening for Cameroon, but Elvedi taking one for the team there, very much so. But this is the problem for Cameroon, because Switzerland defensively, we know how strong they are. They went undefeated through qualifying for the World Cup. They conceded just 2 goals. And again, when you consider that they were in a group with Italy, it's no mean feat.
Yeah, they got to change. They got to change that, because, as I say, the comfort of them, you know, they almost look as if they want to just get that early goal and say, right, okay, that's us now. We're where we like to be. We will not go and chase the second goal. We will just go and play on the break. We've got good enough players to play on the break. It's absolutely fallen right into the place with what you're explaining, the type of team they are. So when that's happening, and if you're Cameroon, you've got to start adapting it slightly and maybe make 1 or 2 changes. However, they have got a free kick.
They have, and Swiss aren't happy because they feel that Brelin Bolo should have had one for an earlier foul, but that was allowed to go by the referee. Cameroon's was picked up, so they have the free kick midway through Switzerland's half, just a little nearer to the halfway line than to the penalty spot from the left-hand side. So, Switzerland have shown that they can pose Cameroon questions from set pieces, and they put 2 players on it again.
Yeah, well, that's fine. From this sort of distance, they've got enough players up there. Again, that very, very high line that the Swiss are playing, they've really organised it well. A lot of teams, Liverpool, are famously doing that at the moment.
So Mbumo it is to take the set piece, lifted in, and the header from Ongisa straight into the arms of Jan Sommer.
Yeah, and that is the real joy of the high line. If you do get a head in, it's from about 16 yards out. It's very hard to score a goal with the header from 16 yards.
Switzerland's coming quickly down this right-hand side, ball into the area. It's met by Vargas. Oh, it's a brilliant save. What a save from Onana. Vargas met it well. Onana read it perfectly. It's behind for a Switzerland corner.
Carbon copy of the first goal. Absolute carbon copy. Space down there, and my old mate I was talking about earlier on, Tolo Noho, again caught out of position. But you've got to say, Bidmer is really clever. He's picked and chosen his times when to break. He got into a great area there. Had that gone in, you really couldn't see a way back for Cameroon in this game. They are breaking brilliantly, the Swiss, at the moment.
And they have a corner over on the far side. Vargas is coming short as an option, but it's swung in towards the 6-yard box. Oh, almost an own goal there. Goodness me, and Bono was in there, but the swing and the miss was from Ongisa, and he had no idea where that was going.
I wonder, Ongisa kind of, you're right, he got it, because Mbolo's sitting there for a tap-in behind him. I think he does know what he's doing. We've underestimated him there. He knew he had to do something special. He got lucky as well.
It's one of those, isn't it, as you say, where he's got to get something on it. And it could go anywhere, but otherwise it's got to go to Mbolo. So Switzerland swing second corner in low. It's cleared away by Mbumo, who then goes down and is fouled inside the penalty area, and that will be a free kick to Cameroon. But yes, you're right, Pat, we have to give credit. He
tried to look cool, and he's capable of looking cool. And Guisa, has to be said, he's about the coolest looking player in the field just now when he's on the ball. But, you know, on your swinger, on your left foot, with the ball behind you, and you know if you get it slightly wrong, it's going into the roof of the net in a World Cup game and probably losing it getting for your team. So, anyway, one of those changes I was asking for is going to happen now, which a wee bit longer than I expected it to take, but it's finally beginning to happen now.
Yes, so the change is being made, and it's one in midfield. Ongala is coming off, and Gael Ondua is coming on. He's barely played for Hanover this season, really struggled with injury, only a handful of caps as well. This is 5th, but he is on, and let's see what this does in terms of possibly just freeing up Ongisa a little bit more. He has drifted forward, drifted back. We'll see how this reshuffles for Cameroon, or
I mean, it's not been a negative system they've had. It's almost been a 4-3, but 3 when they've actually got the ball, the two wide players. But most of it ended up being a 4-5-1. And when it's a 4-5-1 and you're goal down, it's not good enough. So you've got to ask one of those players. And you never know, it might be, he might do that himself. I mean, he might be the player who puts a little bit more pressure on Dua himself.
Yeah, gives him the option. As Cameroon have the throw, it's nicely controlled but forced back is Ryan and Bumo. And now all the way back with Castelletto. Switzerland's still leaving Shaqiri up at the moment, just drifting in through the centre. But a triple change about to be made for the Swiss, who lead by a 1-0 midway through the second half against Cameroon, as Ongisa wins the header, played out by Mfumu, and now to 5. Well marshalled down in that left corner flag area for Switzerland, as Mfumu will bring it forward once again, but the ball is when it's tied up by Alvedi, and this is the positive for Switzerland, isn't it? Because they're sitting back, Rodriguez isn't worried about on the counter. It's Cameroon who have to worry the other end as Freiler plays it out to the right-hand side, and Shaqiri's on the move once more. The overlap option is there. The sliding challenge is there as well. Cameroon concede the corner.
They've actually got better and better as the game's gone on with that overlap on the right-hand side there. I mean, as the defenders are tired, Vidmer, he just decides to go on the outside time and again. He doesn't need to do anything complicated. Shaqiri, when he gets the ball, just drives inside a little bit, then lays the full-back in. And it's actually effortless getting to that byline when they're playing in the break now.
So Switzerland have a corner. They're going to wait to make the triple substitution until after this set piece, trying to double their advantage against Cameroon, but the corner is poor, to say the least, and goes behind for a Cameroon goal kick. And now, here come the changes. So Fabian Frey is the first to come on for Djibril Sow, who hasn't really got into the game so far, and certainly won't now, given that he's coming off. Shaqiri's day is done. He is replaced by the very exciting Red Bull Salzburg player, Noah Okafor, who was so impressed against Chelsea in the Champions League this season. So he's on, 22 years old.